Why fight smarter when you can fight? Wait, it's the other way. Why fight harder when you can fight? This sounds like I'm doing it on purpose. I assure you, I just have a low IQ, which is the opposite of the types of moves we want to talk about today. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10,000 IQ moves in video games that are genius. Starting off with number 10, it's free arrows in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Nothing comes easy in this game. Every scrap of food and peasant frock costs valuable money, and arrows are no exception. You're gonna need so many arrows if you don't want low-level bandits to carve you up like a Christmas ham too, so there's never enough no matter where you go, whether that's stores or other stores, and who wants to pay for all that anyways? No, we're skipping straight to the source, folks. We're getting free-range arrows from wild archers. By traveling to a fortified castle, your pathetic medieval serf can collect an infinite supply of free arrows by transforming yourself into a pincushion. At one particular fortress, firing a gun will alert all of the very angry guards in the vicinity, and they all turn their arrows on you. So we're going to turn on them. Giving the archers the cold shoulder while wearing a hefty shield, you'll absorb hundreds of arrows just by standing still and doing nothing. Standing around collecting arrows in your back is a great way to stock up, and the arrows don't damage you at all because of course they don't. Unequip the shield and an entire mass of free arrows just falls to your feet. This is what the ancient scholars call a big brain move. And number 9 is pickpocketing Gameranx. One of the shiniest fights in Baldur's Gate 3 is against the evil tax collector, Gameranx Thorm, one of several nightmare monsters that live in the Act 2 Shadow Cursed lands. All these Thorms terrorize you wherever you explore their corner of the haunted town, and Gameranx is one of the worst. She becomes stronger the more gold she has, so you'll need to slowly remove all of her gold while defeating ghostly aspects of her personality that haunt the toll house. It's a long fight against a whole swarm of skulls, but you can skip it, all of it, if you're a big smarty. That's right, I'm gonna get it right this time too. Instead of fighting harder, try fighting smarter. While talking to this big golden goon, your thief can sneak behind the distracted mini-boss and lift all of her gold. A successful pickpocket gets you plenty of gold, but the boss wants more. In fact, it wants all the gold you're carrying. Simple solution, carry one gold piece. One to throw to Gameranx, swap to a rogue pickpocketer, then fight her. She's much easier to fight when she's poor. She barely even does any damage, actually. It's a breeze of a fight. Drop all your gold outside. This fight's easy. And number 8, just shooting the bell in the Resident Evil 4 remake. The first big encounter against the mutant villagers of Resident Evil 4 is also one of the most tense. You're surrounded and swarmed by angry axe-wielding old-timey folks, armed with pitchforks and eventually a very intimidating chainsaw.
You gotta be kidding me.
The only way to win against the endless horde is to survive as long as possible. You'll never beat them all. Once enough possessed people are defeated, a church bell rings and it signals them all to leave. That's the genesis of that whole infamous "where they going" bingo line from Leon-esque. It's such a weird line. It's hard to even say. It's so strange. And the thing is, you can trigger the bingo bell a lot faster if you're super smart. In the remake, the bell is actually visible in the far distance. If you can see it, that means you can probably shoot it, right? Well, on New Game Plus runs, you start the game with the sniper rifle already unlocked. Using that sniper rifle, run up to the rooftops, look through the scope, spot the bell in the far distance. Even with the scope, to be fair, it's a tricky shot. Landing a hit triggers the bell though, and that ends the big confrontation early. It's an ingenious skip, even though it kind of sounds simple. But it's not the only one. Rocket launchers can blast through a barrier in the mines area. Leon can use grenades in the last act to break down a wall much faster. They're all genius moves in a remake that might actually surpass the original. At least, it surpasses the original in high IQ skips. At number 7 is the miraculous Mimic tier in Elden Ring. We all know the Mimic tier is completely broken in Elden Ring, but the Elden Ring community collectively says, what if we made it even more broken? So let us explain. In Elden Ring, there's NPCs you can summon to help you explore or beat bosses. One of those unlockable summons is the Mimic tier, a goopy creature that perfectly copies whatever the player character has equipped. If you're wearing big armor and a giant sword, it spawns with the same big armor and giant sword. Little did simple players like us know at the time, but the Mimic tiers also spawn with the same talismans and consumable items equipped, and you can use that to your advantage. The Shabiri's Woe talisman constantly draws maximum aggression from enemies. If your Tarnished equips the talisman, summons the Mimic tier, and unequips it quickly, you'll be able to fight bosses while your Mimic tier draws 100% aggro. To make things even better, equip raw meat dumplings as a healing item in your consumable slots. Mimic tiers won't take poison damage from this bad item. They also have infinite consumables, so give them plenty of powerful hefty pots they can throw, and they'll never stop throwing. Maybe we understand now why FromSoft nerfed these guys. And number 6 is Cappy Co-op in Mario Odyssey. One of the most obnoxious minigames in Mario Odyssey are the volleyball courts. You'll need to bounce the volleyball back 100 times to earn a moon at these minigames, and it starts to get punishingly difficult the longer you endure these Iron Man marathon matches. Even if you throw your Cappy hat to gain a little extra reach, it isn't enough to overcome the non-stop volleyball volleys. It's a minigame that's aggravating beyond all reason, but smart players have figured out a way to make things much easier. Instead of playing volleyball with Mario, play with Cappy instead. In 2-player mode, the second player controls Cappy independently of our favorite plumbing platforming guy. He does both those things, alright? This makes the volleyball challenge literally 1,000 times easier. Cappy is much faster than Mario. He's always spinning with a bigger hitbox, makes bouncing that volleyball back super easy. It's so smart it kind of feels like cheating. If you want to keep desperately chasing volleyballs for 100 bounces, be our guest, but we're sticking with this 1000 IQ option right here. And number 5 is 2 for 1 in Hitman 2. Hitman plops your bald assassin into a massive sandbox, tells you to figure it out yourself. And one of our favorite inadvertently target takedowns comes from the Miami racetrack map in the second, where you can kill 2 birds with one stone, one very big stone. Instead of chasing down your targets individually, it's possible to get them both at the same time by timing your pushing skills to their absolute limit. One of the assassination targets is standing on the sidelines, while one is participating in the race. If you wait for just the right moment, you can push one of the targets onto the racetrack, initiating a chain reaction. The racing target spins out, crashes, kills the driver on impact, makes everything look like one big unfortunate accident.
Ah, there's my car.
Down. Now for the air to the constant impact. Both targets down. Well done, Fortress. Head for an exit, and we'll speak again soon.
Figuring out the cleverest kills is a big part of the Hitman experience, but this one made us feel a lot smarter than usual. And number 4 is Leave the Light Behind in the Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye, a game that's built entirely on big brain moves pretty much all the time, and the expansion has one of the biggest, most mind-bending secrets we have encountered in a video game, and that discovery has completely changed how we approach Echoes of the Eye. In this open galaxy puzzle game expansion, you're mostly exploring a giant ring-shaped station that changes and crumbles as you explore it. Early, you'll discover a method to enter a virtual dream world that's populated with terrifying stalkers that chase you into the darkness. These areas are some of the scariest parts of any video game, and we can effectively ignore all of the frights with one simple trick. This one simple trick. In these virtual worlds, your character is carrying a lantern that you can close to snuff out the light and sneak past enemies. Like a classic FPS horror game, that makes sneaking even scarier because you can't see anything either. So instead of closing up the lantern, why not just leave it behind? Drop that lantern on the floor. You can do that, and leaving the light on and just leaving it over there just de-reses the whole dream world, turns the whole dark and spooky zone into an easy to see polygonal map. The enemies are now represented with simpler shapes and they can't interact with the player, and it makes exploration a lot easier. This one trick turns one of the scariest parts in a game into a horror-like cakewalk. Only a very big brain will figure this one out. Well, I mean, you don't have to because we told you, but yeah. And number 3 is melting the freezer in Blueprints. This has too many high IQ moves to mention one single list, but one of our favorites is this deceptively simple solution. It's also super meta. Blueprints is about drafting, get this, blueprints. Get it? Blueprints. Clever, right? It's a high IQ title. Anyway, you draft them randomly like a puzzle roguelike, and it creates a snaking path through a house that resets at the end of every day. These rooms can affect each other, like a pump room can drain the water from a pool room, a boiler can restore power to other rooms that need it. It's a mess of interesting functions, but our favorites are the ones you wouldn't think would work, but do. Take, for instance, the furnace. The furnace is a red-hot negative status effect room that is both a dead end, bad, and makes a red room appear more often in your current run, also very bad. So why would you place it? Why would anyone place it? Well, there's a specific use we actually stumbled into. By placing a furnace next to a freezer room, the ice-covered items will melt. You just can get them now. So like there's a whole bunch of rewards you can get. It also melts the frozen doorway, which gives you access to a hidden room. It's a fun little secret. Even the furnace doesn't melt the items inside the actually closed refrigerator. That requires a completely different big brain solution. And number 2 is a skip and a hop in Age of Mythology Retold. Mission 14 of Age of Mythology Retold is normally a long, grueling slog. You're dropped into a powerful stronghold with a small army of monsters and a heroic Egyptian unit named Amonra. Your goal is to destroy an enemy base and free a whole bunch of captives on a prison island, which normally takes about 30 minutes of solid real-time strategy tactics. Sure, you can play the normal way, or you can use Amonra to win in a matter of minutes. In the retold version of Age of Mythology, you're given the option to manually activate special abilities that were previously, in the original version, auto-fire specials that only activated intermittently in the middle of a battle. By manually activating Amonra's leap ability, you can hop directly over walls and run straight into the harbor, where you'll build a fleet and raid the prison. Yes, one of the goals is to destroy the enemy base. No, you don't need to actually do it. Skipping to the end and saving the heroes, this mission, it just ends as soon as it began. No need to construct all those mythological monsters to help you. It's a rare RTS mission that's a one-woman job. And finally, at number 1, Smoking Skullface in MGS5. Smoke grenades are the true ultimate weapon of Metal Gear Solid 5. Smokes make you effectively invisible in plain sight, allowing Snake to pull all sorts of dirty nonsense like kidnapping VIPs directly out of heavy armored escorts of soldiers. Smoke grenades are the solution to every problem. But there's one drawback you can't get past when using smoke grenades. They don't have wheels. Smoke grenades are stuck on the ground like a chump. Hey, like a chump. Hey, like a chump. So we're putting our brains to good use. We're going to create a mobile smoke grenade. One of the biggest missions in the game is Skullface, a giant sneaking operation through a massive, heavily guarded Soviet facility. On your first playthrough, this mission can take an hour or longer to beat, but not with our patented mobile smoke grenade. Start the mission with a Jeep and toss one of those smokes in the trunk. Now you can smoothly scoot through the mission. Sure, guards might be briefly alerted by the strange moving cloud of smoke that's entered their base, making engine noises, but there's no cause for alarm. They'll watch curiously. What's that? Well, as long as they don't see a venom-shaped shadow inside that cloud of smoke, it's not their problem. This insane trick is so simple, so ingenious, so effective, it's almost unbelievable. It makes earning S rank child's play. It's truly a weapon to rival the Metal Gear. One of the best 1000 IQ moves you could pull in video games, for sure.
I'm seeing smoke. There may be enemies in the area.
2 more gates to go. Still all quiet at the silo. No sign of Skullface or his Goliath.
CP, this is Delta 3.
Surely we can't already have...
Please advise.
No, never mind. Alright, here.
And for all the brain geniuses out there, if there's some high-performing tricks we didn't talk about, and let's be clear, there are, maybe meet us down in the comments, let's talk about it. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, book me on Cameo, @FalconTheHero. We'll see you next time, right here on Game Ranks.